Another Tito Beats production.
YouTube, what's going on? Got a haircut tutorial for you guys here. This was a recording that we actually did a hands-on course. This was at Cutthroat Barbershop in Salt Lake City, Utah. And bro, this barbershop was like gorgeous. It's a dope shop. If you saw it in my stories, then you know what's up. So we're gonna go ahead and start cutting the top, creating the shape. You can see that I'm taking horizontal partings, working from the crown to the fringe areas, and that the crown obviously is like the back, the whirl area, and then the fringe is the front. Fringe, bangs, fringe just sounds manlier, so I say fringe. Okay, that's it. It's cut. The top is cut to the length desired. I'm gonna put some 245 indestructible clay. And we're gonna blow dry into the hair to create our shape and what we're going to blend into on the top. And I'm using my blow dryer on medium heat, medium volume. All right, so now we're gonna work on number 3 guard. That's going to clear our canvas on the sides and should blend right into the sides, right into the blend area, like the area where it kind of goes into the top of the head, right? So once I have a number 3 on the sides, then I know I'm just fading into a number 3, right? All right, so once that's established, we're gonna go ahead and use the T outliners. You can use your whatever detailers or outliners you have. You can use a balding clipper, whatever you desire. I'm using that all the way around to create our initial guideline. So if the picture's a little dark for you guys, I apologize. It was a little dark in the shop. You never know the environment you're gonna cut at when you're traveling and educating. And if like you've ever been in a barber battle or anything like that, then you know what it's like to not have the lighting that you're used to. And you know, for the barbers who work at a specific shop, like you're used to your environment. So for some it might be too bright, for some it might be dark, but for you it's your environment, so you're used to it, and that's where you cut hair. So like for me, it's a little, I don't know about you guys, but it's a little challenging when I leave my station and what I'm used to and go cut hair somewhere else. Like house calls, to me, you know, that's part of the reason why I hate doing house calls, because it's not your environment, you know what I'm saying? So it can be a little bit of a challenge when you're cutting hair in these darker places. Anyways, I'm using my blade open now to create my next guideline. And you can see each guideline contours the shape of his head. And we'll go ahead and start to take out this line. I'm fading one side now because I'm teaching a class. It's not because that's how I cut hair. Typically, I do the whole thing around, then I move on. And the clipper was closed. Now it's like a quarter of the way open, then it'll be halfway open, and then we'll blend that line all the way out. Well, now it's closed, I should say. So the reverse, it was all the way open, and then we closed it gradually until that line is erased. All right, our next guide is going to be with the number 1 open. And once we're done with this panel, we'll go ahead and we'll start to blend it out. And we're going to use our number 1 close like I'm using here. Then we'll use either the blade open if you're going to skip the half guard, or you can use the half guard into the blade open if the blade open is necessary. What you don't want to do is you don't want to go up too high. You don't want to ruin the shape of the haircut right now. Like, don't go up above the round of his head, because then it's just going to look shaved and you're going to mess up the silhouette of the haircut. Alright, so now I'm using my number 2, and this is probably going to be my last guard, since in the beginning, before we even started the fade, we used a number 3, remember, to make our canvas. So I'm using a number 2 now. We're trying to, blend out the bulk here without going too high up above the parietal ridge. The parietal ridge is literally barber term, what we learn in barber school. I'm not trying to be fancy. It's literally like a basic term that you learn in barber school. For everyone who's about to comment in the comment section, talk about, Chris, you think you know. No, it's just parietal ridge is right where it starts to curve into the top of the head from the side, right? And right beneath my number 2, I'm using my 1.5 guard. Going back to my number 3 just to make sure it's a number 3. And then from here, I'm going to go ahead and start detailing the fade. Alright, now I'm using blending shears to soften up the ridge. And we'll go ahead and start fading the other side. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to speed it up a little bit, and you guys can follow along.
Another Tito Beats production.
But yo, just I don't want to distract you guys, but I want to tell you guys, Salt Lake City is a beautiful place, man. I wish I would have stayed longer. Shout out to all the barbers that came out. We had a crazy look and learn. Over 70 people showed up. It was an amazing class, man. So shout out to Cutthroat Mike on Instagram, cutthroat.mike on Instagram, man. Like, he put this class together. He got me out there, man, and really knocked it out the park. So an amazing time, man. And now you guys can see the fade is starting to come together. Now the only thing is that when you're fading one side to the other and you're not paying attention to the back, then you gotta, at the end of the cut, you know, piece it together. So that's the only thing with fading one side and the other, but it's for teaching purposes, right? Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and put our picture in a frame. We're going to start lining up the haircut. And I'm definitely going to blend in that beard. Like, to me, the beard is part of, like, at least blending in the beard is part of the haircut. Like, you're going to, if it was a regular haircut, you would do the sideburns, right? You would line up the sideburns. You're not just going to leave it, you know what I'm saying, whatever its natural shape is, right? So to me, I'm not going to line up his beard, but I am going to blend it in because nobody's going to be able to go home and blend their own beard in, right? So barbers ask all the time, hey, do you guys blend in the beard? Like, is that part of the haircut? Yeah, it's the sideburn, right? That's if they want it done, of course. Okay, so now this is the last part where I'll start to refine it and use the blending shears to soften up any hard ridge that's there. And I'm just taking off what comes off of the spine of the comb. The spine of the comb is the back part of the comb, right? Not where the teeth are, but where the teeth end. Alright, so his hairline was already lined up, so we're just gonna go ahead and touch it up, just following what he already has there and refining it, not keeping it natural, not trying to push it back or anything like that. You can see from this angle that's looking pretty blurry. The lineup is looking sharp. It's looking good. Okay, now I'm just cross-checking the top. We cut it horizontally in the beginning, if you guys remember. Wet hair lies to you. Like it when you cut hair dry, that'll tell you the truth. So right now I'm just kind of refining it and making sure it's all even. I cut it horizontally when it was wet. I'm gonna cross-check it and cut it vertically to make sure it's nice and even. I'm doing some last minute touch-ups, but you can see the blend from that angle looks much better. And of course, it doesn't need the enhancement, okay? Or my enhancement haters, doesn't need it. But damn, it looks good when you add it. It's part of the craft. It's part of the art, man. Hair color's always been that. And this is just to show you guys it ain't the haircut is dripping, but the color ain't. The haircut drips, but the color don't. Man, that's like a dad joke right there. That was a dad joke. That was bad. Alright, but you can see like that left corner was a little lighter, so it was cool to be able to fill it in with some color and just, you know what I'm saying, make that hairline look fuller. See from this angle again, fade is popping, the line's looking good. We didn't add any color to the beard. That his beard was already done, so I didn't line up the top of the beard or anything like that. It was already done. This was just the haircut, and yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't already.